Today's topic is leveraging social media on building trust and follow up. So I would like to use this opportunity to share with you guys some of the things that I've done in my journey over the past few years in the real estate journey and helping me to close case. Okay, in our journey as a salesperson, as a runner, there's a lot of process that we have to cover. And I realized that one of the main thing, most important element in the career or in the industry is building trust. All right. So that is why that's the whole intention of me building up my own YouTube channel and my TikTok channel. Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah, open up this. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that when I first started my journey as a salesperson, because prior to this, I wasn't in the sales line. So it's always about working, and selling a product is something that is very hard for me. And being introverted is something really, really tough. So when I came into this, right, it is a very tough journey in the beginning. So I studied really hard on the entire process. How do I close case? Because for me, in order for me to present and close on the spot, back in few years ago when I first joined, I realized that there's a lot of top closer with a lot of strategy. Okay, and I'm lacking of that. So at that point of time, there is something that I see I'm not so good at. So I look at some of the strength of mine and I started developing it. And one of the strength that I see in me that I think I can do a bit better is building trust. But it's always one-to-one. When I meet the person, then I try to understand the person and build my brand. But that is where I find out, actually, when I talk to people or I communicate with people, I'm able to build that trust. But it is actually very slow. One-to-one like that. So I was thinking it is more like a thinking process, right? When I first joined, because the sales process is so slow, I constantly think of some of the things that I can do to expedite it. So one way of doing it is understanding yourself and putting yourself out there and gaining more exposure. And that's the whole reason why I have considered putting myself in social media. Okay, so for those of you who did not see this is my channel, Jen Tang channel. I've got TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. But my YouTube and Facebook is not so matured yet, but I managed to build up my TikTok channel. And I can share with you guys, right, it has tremendously helped me in my sales process. And my confidence level has built up so much because of that. Initially, when I joined this sales line, I've got doubt in myself as well. So once I did that, the exposure, the trust level, and the connection between me and my clients, I can feel that there is a huge difference. So that is why today I would like to share some of the tips that has helped me along the way. Okay, the topic today is about social media, but what I wanted to point out today is more towards what is the whole intention. So let me just show you one thing. Yeah. Now, I think every one of us here know that in any sales line, this is a common sales cycle process, correct? Once we get leads, we have appointment, we try very hard to get appointment, and then we try very hard in our presentation to close on the spot. And then after closing, you try very hard to get referral, and it goes on. I think everyone knows about it. But if you know well enough, I don't know how long you guys have been in the industry. If you have been trying to close case, you will know that the sales cycle, especially now in this era, is not as straightforward, right? Because when you break down into it, you have leads, and then you have appointment, and then you have presentation, okay, closing, and then loan, right? This is the part where it kickstart actually. So the work here, when we look into it, we actually have to focus on every single stage. What does it take for you to convert the lead into appointment? What does it take for you to convert appointment to presentation, and so on? And most importantly is loan to conversion, because conversion is king, yeah? Then referral. So when in my topic today, it talks about building trust and follow up. Okay, so the term follow up here, a lot of people will actually think that follow up is when you make appointment, present, then you follow up closely, and you follow up this side, right? Closing, loan, conversion. Okay, so my way of doing, right, is always the moment when you get your lead, you start your follow up, right? Especially once you talk to the client, this is where the follow up process starts. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Yeah. So when it first beginning of this, right, I studied really hard on this process. And because that at that point of time, my challenge was closing. When I close, a lot of people can close on the spot. And I find it really tough to convince people to place booking. So I studied this. And the thing here is that actually what I realized over the years, follow-up is a very important element in the entire sales cycles. Once you did not follow up, someone else will follow up for you, right? So then I built up my, I try to study how do I follow up client. Okay, in summary here, what I'm trying to say is that when I study the entire process, what I wanted to do is when I get to connect with the client, I want the client to stick with me all the way to conversion and even leads. And one way of doing it is following up closely and building up trust. Okay, so the key point here is that whatever you are doing today, whether or not it's social media or not social media, you want to ensure that your client have that trust in you. And in this moment, in this era, right, social media is the way to go, because everyone search information, they will go Google, YouTube, and also Facebook to search for information. That is why I open up the TikTok channel and also YouTube channel. Okay, so today's session, I would like to share more about some of the tips that has helped me in terms of follow-up. Social media has helped me a lot in building up the brand and also the trust. But what I would like to share more today is the process. Yeah, from the first leads to appointment to presentation, closing, and then and also referral. Okay. One thing that I want to share here is that in our market right now, the pace of the changes happen really quickly. So as an agent, right, I feel that we need to study what the market is right now, or most clients, what are they like, or what they don't really like. You got to know that, and in order to know that well, you have to do a lot of sales activity to meet a lot of clients. Then you know, currently client don't really pick up calls one. Yeah, recently client don't really reply messages one. So these are the things that you have to think about it. And I realized one thing, I'm sure you guys agree also. These days, right, when you approach a client, it's not easy to ask them for appointment. It's not like, hey, we have got a viewing this weekend, you can come and have a look. Maybe last few years is easier, but now I think one of the main challenges is competition, correct? So many people asking you. So that is why you have to study what are the things that normal agents do, and then you study what can I do to outstand among the agents. So the key here is to outstand. At every point of follow-up, I try to do things differently so that the client will notice that, hey, this is something different. Hey, this is something that I can, this is someone that I can learn or I can get value from. And also, not too sure if you agree or not, people are very defensive also. Do you agree? If you agree, can you give me 3? If you agree, yeah. Okay, so this is the challenge that I have, and I find this is really valid. Every time you approach a new client, even if it's hot leads, most of the time they are very defensive. And that's why, as an agent, when you look at the process, each stage, you just focus from leads to appointment. How do I make sure that my client are comfortable dealing with me, trust me, and they are willing to meet me? So this is the gap in the market. And that's how you need to study and fit into the gap. All right, meaning to say that you need to be outstanding. So again, that's the reason why I started up social media, because that's one way to be outstanding. But apart from social media, what I want to point out today is more like every single little thing that you need to do during your follow-up process, whether it's from lead to appointment or after closing. Yeah. Now, in follow-up, what I find it helps me is that you need to understand to ensure that you can follow through, right? They need to be reminded that you exist and you represent the project, and they need to make time to see you. Okay, what it means is that there is so many agents out there. How can I ensure that my client, when I touch base with him, the first point of contact, he will remember me as Jen Tang? And maybe I'm not ready yet, but when I'm ready next week or when I'm ready next month, I will have to find Jen Tang. Okay, so you need to be all over around him or her. Okay, so that's one key point. Number two, they need to be reminded that the project is suitable and the developer is good. So again, the competition also comes from other industry, other developer, other projects. So you need to actually build value for the project and the developer. And then this one is more towards after booking. They are reminded that they made the right choice. Yeah, and then they need to trust you and like to deal with you. For the same project, for the same unit, there are so many agents. Why do I have to deal with you? Yeah, so more like this is like a thinking process. Every time when we review and when I review, I think it helps me a lot. I will go back and think of ways or creative ideas to help me in my follow-up. How do I make sure that whenever they think of project, they will think of me? Yeah, these are the things. Okay, so these are some of the tips that you can leverage on to follow up closely and building trust. Okay, first, when I talk to the client, whether it's the first point of contact over phone or presentation, I need to ensure I use a different tonality. I always make full use of my tonality and a voice. This is not a girl thing or a guy thing, because tonality can help you in emphasizing a lot of things. All right. Number one, when you're doing calling, remember that you are actually taking part of their time. So this is basic manner. You need to speak with good tonality and manner. Let them know why you are calling. And then number two is you got to position yourself differently from the very start. Always remember that you are a professional agent. You are not just there sell for the sake of selling. Okay, you have to think of the mindset where I am actually sharing a great opportunity. Now, if you have that kind of mindset, right, when you call that time, your feeling is a bit different one as compared to, hey, I just received your registration from Facebook. Are you looking for a property? Are you looking for own stay or investment? This is a very standard call, right? But when you position yourself differently, you will try to have the very excited tonality and share to them, I would like to let you know that it's a super great opportunity that everyone is talking about in town. And I'm so glad that I can reach out to you to share this great opportunity. Yeah. So do you have a few minutes or something like that? Okay. So you need to always position yourself differently. And from that point of time, you need to start giving value already, whether it is WhatsApp or any other channel. Okay. So always also remember, most of us, right? I think we are calling warm call, not cold call. Yes. So when we are calling that time, you have to always place this mindset. The people that you are calling, don't worry, they have interest in finding a property one. Now you have to position yourself and make it the right timing to share them the good property or help them in looking for a good property. When you have a mindset like that, it will be a lot easier. Okay. And then, of course, this doesn't only applicable for calling. When you present, tell them using a third-party perspective. What does it mean by third-party perspective? Because now, how did I develop all these small little tricks? Because I find that the normal way of presentation, people nowadays already don't buy that kind of style, which means this property is good. You keep pointing out good points about this property. Clients nowadays, they are more defensive. So what I did here is I use a third-party perspective method, right? For example, my client choose here because of this, and that. So I use a third party, right? So use neutral positioning. So neutral positioning here means that nowadays a lot of clients, right, when they view agents are like selling one project, EXIM, and EXIM all the time. So you need to be a little bit more different from other agents by giving a neutral kind of feel. That means you need to let them know that actually I am focusing on the entire KLPJ area, and I can help you with finding a suitable one. However, recently in our listing, there is one that fits a lot of buyer's requirement, and I personally think that is worth taking a look. So this is very neutral positioning, okay? Empathy. Empathy here means say something that make them feel you are on their side, okay? This one, let me just give you an example. For example, they say certain objection, okay? You always say things like, I understand your concern. I understand your concern. So when you say things like that, right, people will feel that, hey, this agent is actually thinking on behalf of me, not just selling, not just, try not to use but lah. But means like, I don't agree with you. So that is how our clients become very defensive. So this is what helps me. I always use the word, I understand your concern, not to worry, take your time, things like that, okay? And always show that you care. And then when it comes to objection, right, I always agree before you want to disagree anything. What does it mean? I agree what you mean. However, a lot of people, despite knowing this fact, they still choose this area because of this. Again, I use third party. All right. So all these small little things is small little tips in helping you to outstand yourself among other agents, because you behave differently, and also you give a different feel to your client, right? This is part of the process of building trust. Okay, that is one. Then script your template differently. Okay, instead of using a normal template, try to think of ways to script your template differently. For example, we could be sending things like that: new launch project, Old Klang Road, reply yes to know more info, which is quite common. Or you can do something like this, more personalized. Hi Dave, this is Jan here. I saw you have registered your interest to know more about this property. I'm here to assist and would like to share to you this property opportunity, which among the listing I have, I personally feel is something worth to take a look. Yeah. Okay. So you position yourself neutrally and try to make them feel that the listing that I have right now is something you need to take a look. Okay. I would like to personally walk you through. So this is a very personalized message. Every single thing that you do from the very start has to be a bit more different. Okay. So of course, I leveraged on my branding. Hang on, yeah. Introduce yourself differently. So I leverage, because I have a brand here, so I will put my link here and say that, okay, I'm actually doing sharing weekly like that to share contents and values, especially now when you're looking for a property, you may want to know some property basic knowledge. So I'll put that. Okay, this one actually helps me a lot in building trust, the social media part. And then sometimes they will watch my video and then they'll say, thanks for sharing. I learned a lot from your channel. So that is what satisfies me sometimes. Okay. Now, also in terms of differentiating yourself with other people, right? You can do videos. So this is what that has helped me a lot over the years. So I put up a video like that to do invitation. So you want to take a look at this one? I can share with you. Yeah. And I'm still using this. Hey guys, this is Jen Tang. Before that, can hear, right? Here,
is there a video?
Yeah.
We can hear only, we cannot see the video.
Hang on,
You need to share the screen instead of sharing the window.
Okay, Ken?
Yeah.
I may have contacted you personally to talk about a high-end concept development that is located in Damansara, very closely located near to IKEA Damansara. And right now I'm standing in front of the scale module that demonstrates the entire 60-acre line of site. And it's going to be a very interesting concept with all grade A offices and self-sustaining township here. But what's more interesting is that right now there are 4 initial phases that are launching at only 600 per square feet in price, and even below. So I would like to invite you personally to come to this gallery so that I can personally walk you through in detail the entire concept of the township, the layout, the size, the showroom, and also the packages. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Jen Tang here. I may have contacted you personally to talk about a high-end.
Yeah, so that is one of the video that I share to invite. Yeah, this is one invitation that you can do. So instead of templates over templates, right, you put your face there and it shows that you are not scared of anything, like you're putting yourself out there. So this way, right, it's a little bit more different, and to me, it helps in my appointment rate a lot. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, another thing that I use a lot is I leverage a lot on the voice note. So this is super important because through messages, sometimes we cannot convey emotions. And after sending videos or template, right, I will use voice note to target the emotions part lah. And then I will leverage on different tonality again. For example, if it's something important, then I will slow down and then I will use a deeper voice. Okay, because sometimes clients won't pick up your calls, right? So that's where I leverage on voice note. So I will say things like, Dave, I let you know, yeah, this phase, right, there's only about 15 more units. And I want to let you know this opportunity is only, it's a rare opportunity because the last time that we have is actually 15 years ago. So I think this is super worth for you to take a look and explore. If you are thinking sooner or later to look for a property, you have to see this. Yeah, so things like that. Okay, if I cannot reach out to him, I will try to use voice note, or even everything is already ready, I will also say see you later using voice note. So it's more personalized where you can utilize on the tonality. Okay, so far okay. So far
okay.
Yeah, so these are small little tricks that I use along the way in my sales cycle process, from appointment, from lead to appointment, appointment to presentation and closing. And I also leverage a lot on video. All these small little things I do is to differentiate a bit from normal messages. Okay, like this one, Central Park Damansara, not my face, but I give them an like teaser like that. Also, one thing to take note, right? Every time before you meet them, you can actually do something extra to tell them what do you expect. You can put your face there. Thank you so much for your appointment. Now, I just want to brief you a little bit on this development prior to coming to the sales gallery. Later on, I will share you what kind of points and what are you getting. Okay, by the end of the presentation, you will be very familiar with the development. You'll be very familiar with the rental market and things like that. So it's a lot different, more professional. Okay, so this one video, it's a video that I always put out and say, watch this one. This is 1 minute description on the location overview. Okay, so this one you can see, yeah? Can hear?
The exact location on the development, the upcoming township. Now I'm going to share with you the exact location on the development, the upcoming township in Damansara. So in this entire map, if you look at this area where the cursor is pointing at, it is the curve Mutiara Damansara. So this one here is the LDP highway. So let's say on LDP here, okay, 1U is on our left here. So further up, we will pass by IKEA, which is Mutiara Damansara on our left. So what we do is we don't turn in, we just follow this road all the way straight. And there's a total of a 2 km distance all the way straight. 2 km, then you reach our site on the left. So this area, if you pass by this further up, you pass by a toll, and that's towards Desa Park City direction. So In a way, if you look at the entire Damansara area, this side of Damansara is considered quieter due to the Bukit Lanjang Forest Reserve Hill. And one of the most unique thing about this area is this township is that it's surrounded by the forest reserve, and there's also a 10-acre park. And due to the cost of land, right, they actually acquire the entire land at a lower cost. Hence, the initial phase is launching at 30% below market value, which is 600 per square feet. So it's pretty reasonable in this area.
Yeah, there you go. So 1 minute. So people sometimes they want information. That's why, and they need this information to be delivered fast. So that's how I record this down and also make them feel like they want to come and visit. Yeah. So this is the video part.
Now I'm going to.
Okay. So I also show them sneak peek sometimes. So these are all the materials that you can think along the way to follow up. Like maybe you book an appointment on Monday. What do you do on Tuesday and Wednesday before Saturday, Sunday? Because most of the time when you book the appointment on Monday and you just left it there on Friday, sometimes they forget, and Saturday something came out and then they just don't appear. So I'll keep them warm by giving them things like that, information, and then remind them, hey, yeah, I have an appointment with Jen, and yeah, this property is really interesting. Keep them excited or interested in the project, right? Show them sneak peek videos too, using your face, if you don't mind, because it helps a lot in building brand and trust. This is something that I also realized over the past 2 years. When I do that, the result really shows up. Okay.
So right now I'm going to take you through a sneak peek.
All right, I'm going to skip a bit.
Video of a 4-bed, a sneak peek now.
And then, yeah, okay. This is just a very fast overview of the project. Yep. So this one actually shows them exactly the site already. And then I will put down a note there. Dave, actually, you can take 1 minute, right, to look at this video. Then you will know how roughly the showroom, how does it, the show unit, how does it look like, and also the site. So roughly 1 minute. So they actually appreciate 1 minute video like that, rather than you calling them and then trying to get them to explain. Of course, if you can, it's better. But sometimes I realize that the current trend, right, people don't pick up call. If you can get hold of them, it's best. But if you can't, then through the message, you need to be really outstanding. These are things that you have to think along the way, how to be more creative. Yeah. So this is also another thing. Let them know what they are expecting. So I'll put out a brochure, and then it's always private viewing event one. It's always 2% pre-launch. So I will say things like that. When you come by, you'll be able to see township, new redevelopment, different style layout, and so on. Okay. Right. And also this one I personalized to do that, to explain things, right? I can actually, I actually do screen recording example. This is S8 lah. When I was doing the orientation, my client got confused on the orientation.
Hi, just wanted to show you the estate orientation. Yeah, so we have been talking about Tower A. Now Tower B is launched for booking. So just for your yeah, Tower B, and numbers will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5 is here, 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10, then 12 is over here, right? So the duplex unit is this one and this one. It's facing.
So these are very personalized. If you think that the client has some certain interest and you want to get hold of them, right, you need to keep them warm by building brand for yourself, for the property, and keeping them warm. And one way of keeping them warm is thinking of ways, personalize it, make them feel that you're doing this to explain, to help them. Okay. Yeah. All right. So last but not least, of course, social media helps me a lot lah. Okay. If you guys, I totally recommend you guys to, if you guys haven't, start off a social media channel and start doing values and sharing, because I want to share here that from the first day I joined IQI, right? That's my first sales career lah. 60 to 70%, thankfully, 60 to 70% of my clients, right, actually book without coming to the showroom. converted also lah, 60 to 70%. Thankfully, thanks to that, because MCO that time, we have to do a lot of Zoom. So the only way to do all this is through building a strong trust and brand, and also client trusted you. So all this trust are built up from the way you communicate, the way you work, the way you present, the way you brand yourself from the very start. And the branding you can share to them. So I have got comments like, yeah, actually, if this other agent, right, I wouldn't want to book like this. But I don't think you will con me because you have a channel. You know, he will say things like that. Or some of my clients will trust me more. Even until today, maybe they don't know which unit they book. They still book with me because they trusted me. So you see the sales career here, sometimes you're selling the project, but I feel that sometimes it's also about yourself. You're selling yourself. Okay. So yeah. All right. One thing that I want to share here is that I leverage on my social media. Wait now, let me share. So far, okay. Because right, it's been a while since I do sharing, and then Zoom is like always one-way communicating. So can you give me some response? So far, okay. If it's okay, can you give me like 6? So it feels very weird for me sometimes. One-way communication. Thank you. You guys are here. Okay. Wait, now let me just share with you. Okay, so this is my channel, okay, Jen Tang channel on TikTok. Now, for those of you who haven't shared, haven't followed, you guys can follow my channel. So this is where I will share values, and it's not selling one, you know, and it helps in my follow-up. By the way, building brand, right, in the long run can actually, my whole intention of building this brand is to get leads, okay? But I didn't know that before. I do get some leads and I close some, but most importantly is along this process, right? I use all this material in my follow-up process. Yeah, whenever they ask, hey, actually, how progressive interest, how do you calculate progressive interest? So I just share this progressive interest video. How do I calculate, what's the difference between discount and rebate? I will share them, and at the same time, they'll be able to see my profile. It's a different building brand for yourself, okay? So it helps me a lot, but what I want to point out here is that I leverage on this and email platform also. So sometimes I follow up using email. Okay, let me just share with you something. Recently, I developed something called Jen Tang Weekly. Why do I have this Jen Tang Weekly, right? Because the other day I saw one of the motivator, Gary Vee, right, has this thing called Gary Vee Weekly. Yeah, so I thought, it is actually a very creative idea to build your brand. So I leverage on this email octopus, and I've got a bit of leads over the years. So I compile them, right, and then I will put it into this campaign, and this campaign called Jen Tang Weekly, and this is automated. And a long time, right, I can actually add in email of different topics. And you realize, right, let me just show you the email here. Okay, so this is an intro email, which means that all this email that I've collected over time, I will store them. And then every time there is a new email that comes in, right, I add in. Once I add in, this email will be, this email platform will be able to detect this new email, and they send the first email. Automated lah. The first email that they will get is always, hi there, this is Jen Tang, blah, blah, blah. And then I put my face there. You realize that all the things that I do, right, has a lot of my face there. The reason why is because I want them to remember me. And as I said earlier, the whole intention is that whenever they think of buying property, they have to think of Jen Tang. This is my intention. So from the first point of contact, I will put a lot of my face, okay? So this is just intro. This email is my appreciation to all of you, and I would like to invite you guys to my social media channels and my private Facebook group. And then there's this new project, Jen Tang Weekly. My intention is to create more value. So all this, right, is not selling, you know. It's just to share knowledge. And when they click this, it will be able to connect to my YouTube channel or my TikTok channel. And then they can also WhatsApp me. And immediately when I do that, right, I get a few inquiry. Yeah, only the first email. So all this connected to my social media channel. So that means people look at my channel, they study a bit, then they text me. And I also grow a bit of my followers from this, just this. Yeah, then going back, hang on. 666 campaigns, right? Jen Tang Weekly. Then, hang on now. Sorry. Intro email. This is sending immediately after a contact subscribe. Then after 7 days, right, I have all this plan out. Email 2 is about progressive interest. Okay, let's take a look. Now, if you realize, right, you may think that the content is very troublesome, but because I have a social media channel, I have all videos. So all I did was I just put up some words. If you buy new launch, progressive interest, then I put this snapshot, view 1 minute clip on how to calculate progressive interest, and then connect. And then you see every email in the bottom right, I will attach. Looking for new launch properties, click on the button below to connect to me directly. I will walk you through the options that fits your requirement. And this is also one way where I can reconnect my old leads. And I'm already following up some, okay? And it helps for me. Second one, going back. And third one, how do you read? All these videos I already have in my TikTok. So I just connect it. And when I'm free, I just add on another email. This one is, they actually run automatically. Okay, so I personally feel that when we are in this sales cycle process, it shouldn't be just one time off. Sometimes you may miss, and the follow-up has to be so tight, because if you contact the person and he's busy and you forgot to follow up, then the next person who call will help you to follow up, correct? So that's why every point I have to follow up tightly, and the only way is to build a brand and make them remember you, and that's how I did it. Okay, so far all okay? Any question? Very quiet. Makes me nervous actually when everyone is quiet. Okay, yeah. Does this help you guys? Yeah. Yeah, helpful. Thank you. This is just a very short, simple sharing where I find that it helps me a lot. One moment, let me go back. Yeah, you see, this one, right? It's actually from my branding and emailing. You keep reminding them that I'm there. And this Jason is saying, how long ago the leads. I received your email sort of. Yes, this is Jen here. Hope you're well. Are you by any chance scouting for properties for yourself? Yes, landed. And then Bukit Jalil. So I immediately share a project that we are doing, which is Affinity. So at least there's something. And there's also some. Yeah. So one very key important thing is to study the process. Because at any point in time, right, I realized that the market changes. So currently, I would say that people are very defensive. I don't know why. When you call them, again, property agent, then they will just shut you off before you can even have the chance to say anything. So you have to think of ways constantly how to follow up closely to make them come and view and present closing and all. Okay. So far, okay. Any question?
Any questions for Jenny?
I hope it helps.
I think it helps a lot. It really helps a lot. I think, Jenny, you're very systematic in terms of you break down all the things into a format that people can understand. And I really like all your way to follow up, like screen recording videos, like all this. I think I think it helps a lot. Like it saves a lot of time also. Like the same thing you don't have to repeat like 1,000 times to all different clients. Very, very good.
Actually, I think everyone should try doing video or actually building a brand, because I can understand you guys very well, because I didn't like doing video or putting myself out there. But to help you with that, right? Actually, nowadays TikTok helps because also the current market, they're very impatient people nowadays. So 1 minute video where you just use 1 minute, deliver that video, deliver the points, and you don't even have to memorize. There are tools like teleprompter to help you. There's an app, right, where you can put down the script and then you just read in front of your camera. So you can find your script, then it will roll up as you record. Then you just follow. That's what I did. So it helps you in your time management also. Yeah.
Very helpful. So any questions for Jenny? You can ask any questions.
Is it always so quiet?
If I'm not wrong, Jenny, you're sort of like used to be an introvert, right?
Or super.
Or super introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny used to be an introvert, and she forced herself to be an extrovert, to go out there and face the camera. So I think everyone, you can do it. If you right now you're camera shy or you're very shy of doing video recording, you can actually always force yourself to do it. Like once you do it a few times, like more than 10 times, then you'll very get used to it already. Like Tony. Tony introvert meh?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think Tony also forced himself to do it. Like
Yeah.
he used to be camera shy also. Forced himself to do it until it become super good in it. Like forced himself to do, I still remember one day, one live video. Then after that, it's like 2 live video every day. Then like it's like 1 live video every 2 hours.
Yeah.
So the secret to become a very successful person is discipline. I always believe in that. Like Jenny, if you look at her slides and look at her presentation, she's really, really disciplined. Like, how can you do so many videos if you're not disciplined, right?
I need to get better. I need to be like Tony Yao.
Yeah, execution is the key. Correct. So everyone, any questions for Jenny, right? Or Tony or Adrian? They're all here right now. Right? You can ask any questions. You can type or you can unmute yourself. Or maybe I can ask Jenny, where normally where do you get your leads? Do you do Facebook marketing or normally it's just from organic marketing?
Okay, organic also got Facebook marketing still, because I haven't developed so matured like Tony Yao people coming, but I do get some. Good thing is when you get some, you know that it's working, so keep doing. But most of my leads still come from from Facebook, Google Ads, and then TikTok also got. Yeah. So that's why the entire social media branding thing, you have to make have an expectation first. It's not like when you do already, you will have lots of leads, but it is something like along the way, it helps you to outstand yourself and also make your things easier. Like you say, for example, people ask about things, general things, how to calculate rental yield. You can just share them the video. Yeah.
Understand.
So
you closed from TikTok before, right? Is that an organic lead or advertised lead?
Advertised also got, organic also got.
Ooh. Okay.
So got
Gen channel also got.
Not a lot but got converted one also.
Okay. So for people who have not tried TikTok before, you can try. Actually, now is the next big thing already.
Oh yeah, can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
One of my team member actually explore on Xiaohongshu. Xiaohongshu is super great because they just post not even their face, right? Just a poster like that, and then they get leads, organic leads, PM like that. So one of my team member, Carmen, right? She got all these leads and she closed. Yeah, Carmen. Yeah, she closed and okay, almost converted lah, because she's new. But for a newbie, right? She get all these leads 100%, 100%. I think there is 2 or 3 cases on hand, 100%.
Yeah, Xiaohongshu is pretty good. The organic reach is very, very good. Like CY also did Xiaohongshu, also converted a few cases already. And I believe Joyce Yo also did Xiaohongshu and managed to get quite a number of leads from Xiaohongshu. So yeah, it's the next big thing. So people who you have not tried Xiaohongshu, you can go and try. And the good thing is you don't really have to advertise in Xiaohongshu right now lah. I think the organic reach is still very, very powerful. Of course, I think if there are a lot of PMs, you have to pay to actually access the PM, right? I think.
For sure, but so far for her it's free. Yeah.
Because I think you can access to 10 PMs and then on the 11th one you have to start paying. That's how Xiaohongshu make money. But that is a confirmed lead already, ma. So no harm paying lah. I mean, it's not going to be very expensive also. Yeah.
Any other question, guys?
Any questions? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if no questions, let's turn on our webcams. Let's have a selfie together. All right, come turn on your webcam. Before we leave. Okay, the rest, never mind, we take first. Right, look at the camera and say cheese. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. Give us some love. 3, 2, 1, cheese. All right. So let's put our hands together for Jenny. 2-5 in the chat box below. I think today we all learned a lot, and we should all put into use what we learned today, especially the follow-up method, like doing videos, doing short videos, doing screen recording, email marketing, channels, and all this. Like what Tony said just now, execution is the key. All right. So thank you, Jenny. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.